Hi, I'm Michael DiSpezio, and in this short lesson, I'd like to address the structure of SARS CoV-2, the virus that causes coronavirus disease. This is an artist's interpretation of what SARS CoV-2 looks like. This virus particle, which scientists prefer to call a virion, has certain features that we're going to examine. First, let's look at its size. The particle itself can be measured in diameter, and we find that it is so small that we have to use a measurement unit that you might not be familiar with. It's called the nanometer, and the nanometer is 1/1000th of a meter. These particles range in size from about 100 to 120 nanometers in diameter. Now, another way of looking at this is they are so small that you can position 10,000 virions, 10,000 virus particles, one right next to the other across the head of a pin. We can look at this length in another way, which is fantastic. This virus is so small that its diameter is equal to the length of a wavelength of ultraviolet C light. SARS-CoV-2 has a mostly spherical shape. I say mostly because scientists refer to this shape as being pleomorphic, which means there's variability in it, so not all of the virus particles will be perfect spheres. You can see that in this image. This picture was taken with a transmission electron microscope, or TEM, and it uses a very powerful high magnification to reveal the structure and shape of virus particles. And as you can see, not all of these particles are the same shape, nor are they the same size. Let's look at the scale of this virion as compared to the host cell which it might infect. So here we have the virus particle, and in the background we have a piece of a cell which is about the same size as the respiratory cells which are attacked by SARS-CoV-2. If we were to show the actual relationship in size, we'd have to take that virus and shrink it down like this. Very impressive. So you can see that the host cell is much, much larger than the virus particle. Let's look now at the structure of SARS-CoV-2. We'll start on the exterior. The outermost part of the virus is called the viral envelope. And this envelope is made of two parts. The first part is really the fabric of the envelope, and the fabric itself is a lipid membrane. You may be familiar with lipid membrane. Those are the type of membranes that we have in cells. And indeed, this lipid membrane, which is part of the viral envelope, is taken from the cells that the virus infects. So when new virus particles are assembling, what they will do is take a piece of the fabric from the inside of the cell, located right here between the ER, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the Golgi body, or the Golgi apparatus, or just plain Golgi, and they will take a piece of this fabric and wrap themselves in that. In addition to the lipid fabric, the viral envelope also contains a group of biochemicals called structural proteins. The largest of these is called the S, or the spike protein, and you can see it here extending from the surface of that envelope. The spike protein has a role in infecting host cells. It also may be the target of vaccination therapies. We also have the M, or the membrane or matrix protein, and this protein is found embedded in that lipid layer, and it gives it a firm structure. And that firm structure results in the near spherical shape of the virion. We also have the envelope or E protein, and this protein is responsible for allowing ions, charged atoms, to come into the interior of the virus particle. It may also have a role in replication. Let's examine the interior of SARS CoV-2. In this cross-section, you can see that the viral envelope has the various protein studs coming out from its surface. And notice that they pass through the membrane. They are transmembrane proteins. Now that exterior viral envelope forms a hollow within the center of the virion. Within this hollow is a helical structure called a nucleocapsid. Now, the nucleocapsid is made of two parts. One is the RNA, and the other is what's called the N protein. It's another structural protein which twists the RNA into this coiled or helical shape. Now, RNA, short for ribonucleic acid, is a nucleic acid which contains the blueprints for this virus. And those blueprints, well, they don't look like this. They're found in a sequence of nucleotides. And these nucleotides, this genetic code, calls for certain amino acids, which are then put together to form the proteins that make up this virus. I trust you enjoyed this presentation and found it useful in constructing an understanding of the scale and structure of SARS-CoV-2. If you'd like more information, join me at my Twitter account @mdispezio, and there you'll find a number of different tweets. Some of them address cool facts or send you to some great articles that I've uncovered. Others reference YouTube movies that I've made and produced. This one is on flattening the curve. Still others address best techniques for online teaching. And I also have tweet posts which direct you to my webinars. If that's not enough, I have a blog post where I put up information, a little bit of a deeper dive into the science, spread, and therapy of COVID-19. And you can find that at covid19.michaeldispezio.com. Well, that's it for now. I trust I'll see you again.